YouTube? It's Tevin here today, and we are going to be talking about actually a wide variety of different things, but solely on the idea of sales strategies and building of packages for your clients and the pay structure. And basically, it's based off this question that I got in one of my groups: is do you use packages or one fee depending on the business? That's what we're going to be talking about today. That question is asked by Jules Johnson. Thanks again for watching my video, guys. If you haven't seen my last one, I talk about building an audit for my clients and how I used it to close a $4,498 a month package. And that's a pretty big deal. If you're just starting out in social media marketing, that is definitely something you're going to want to take advantage of. Even if you've been in it for the last couple months, take a look at that video. There's probably some value that you can use. Again, if you need the document from it, shoot me your email and I'll send it off right away. Anyways, guys, let's jump straight into this content and exactly what I do and sales strategies I can use to close some of these bigger clients, because I constantly get the question is, I get people telling me they can go in there and they can close them for three, four, maybe $1,000, but Tevin, how do you close your clients at $2,500, $5,000, $4,500? Because I want you all know that my minimum pricing structure, it starts at $2,500. I don't have anything lower than that. And realistically, I don't really have a pricing structure because I know the value of all of my services, which is something you should learn, because this isn't about building packages and just showing them costs on a piece of paper. It's about knowing the ins and outs of your business and what exactly each factor is worth. So what is Instagram account creation and in management valued at? Well, I mean, that depends on the person you're managing the account for. If I'm managing the account for McDonald's, I would say a couple $100,000. But if I'm doing a small brick and mortar business that's been open for 6 months and they have an average of $100,000 in sales or year over year, or projected anyways, then it could be $300-400. Obviously, you want to stack all of the products together or within a package. So we do Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing, and all that, and you want to get them all stuck together, but you can break down the pricing that way. So the first thing I would say you'd want to learn is, how do you know, or how do you build the value of each of your services that you offer, and what are they valued at basis the customer. So this will be after you land a meeting with your client that you'll really be utilizing this video. Once you get your client and you've got a set down meeting for next Monday, this is something that's going to be very important to you. What is their company? What do they do? How many employees do they have? What's the product that they're selling? What do you think the projected amount of revenue they pull in year over year? Now, you take all these into consideration when you're building the package for them, because I don't necessarily go in there with three different prices. I go with one price, and then I can work on it if they need a discount, or they can't close on, say, $5,000, but I still have some wiggle room because I know the value of all of my services. So what does that mean to you? Essentially, that means you got to know your business inside out and backwards. So when I go into a meeting and I'm talking about, I can do Yelp, I can do Google My Business, PPC, Facebook business pages, Instagram, Twitter, content creation. I've got a full videography team. I've got a full graphic design team, photography team. You name it, I can get it done and I can get it covered. The only thing I don't really dabble in is web design. Yes, we can do it, but I prefer to stick away from it as it requires so much time and the outsourcing on it is very expensive to get a really good website. So when you're going in and talking with these clients, potential clients of yours, you don't really want to end up having three different pricing packages to just place in front of them, or just to even tell them, be like, well, this is my first package. It is $1,500, and this is what I do. Well, some of that stuff they won't need. So why would you give a package to someone that they don't need? So that's my first qualm when it comes to answering that question back there on the Facebook page. Do you guys use packages or one fee depending on the business? So I guess I'd answer that question. I don't necessarily ever use packages, and I do use a one fee, I guess, depending on the business that I am, trying to close. So how does that work? Well, I build this little bit of a full list of services, like this sales book, I suppose, of my services. And I've been using this tactic. I used it a couple times. Feel free to use it if you'd like. I talked a little bit about it in my last video, but it's called the sales room, or the dressing room phenomenon. I'll go over it with you real quick. So what happens is you're going to go into a fancy suit store, and you're going to be searching for a pair of pants. And say you find these pair of pants. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go try them on. You're going to jump into that change room. Now, the whole time you're in that change room, your salesman is going to run around the room and he's going to pick things that match those pair of pants. So we're talking cufflinks, socks, shoes, a brown belt, whatever just matches perfectly with those pair of pants. He's going to bring out and he's going to set it on the table in front of you. And he's not necessarily going to be there to sell you those things. It's just going to be presented to you as options that would be very suitable with the pants that you're buying. Now, there's some psychology behind this on how it works, and it's essentially it plays a trick with the mind that these are needed items, but you're also giving them the decision on buying products. And so what that does to them is, well, this sales guy wants me to buy every single one of these. They want me to buy all the cufflinks, the socks, the shoes, the belts. He wants me to buy all of it. So if I only buy, one or two of these things, then, I'm kind of tricking him out of it. Well, that's the psychology behind it. That's what the salesman wants you to think. Because no matter what, he's still upselling you on more products. And so that's essentially what I do with my list of services here. I'll print out all 4 pages. I drop it in front of my client at the end of the meeting there when he's like, all right, so let's get down to the bread and butter. Let's talk about pricing. How much is this going to cost me? And I'm like, all right, sir, I'm going to hand you these 4 pages. And I want you to look over them after our whole conversation here on what exactly you need and the audit that I've just built for you. And like I said, you do have a lot of things that are great about your content. Your posting is amazing, and I genuinely love your content. But I promise you there's a lot more we can do with your content when it comes to advertising it and getting it in front of the people that we need it to be in front of. So we can increase that client base and build your brand and make sure that your presence is truly noted in front of all of the social media. And right now your competitors, they're starting to get into social media. So that's something I feel like that we should tackle faster and better than each one of your competitors. Because I don't know about you, but don't you want to be the best out of all your competitors? Is that not what you want? And again, there's another sales tactic I use within there. One of the most important things you can do when talking to a client is get them to say yes as many times as possible. And this is another psychology-based thing where the more that they say yes, the more they're inclined to say yes on closing a deal with you at the very end. It's more of like a connection thing. So that's why I always use these reoccurring questions is like, do you not want that to happen? Well, I mean, yes, I do want to be the best. Well, I mean, tell me right now, if this isn't something you want, then I can't help you. Well, no, yes, this is something I want. I want to be more successful. Yes, I do. Right? So you get them to continuously say yes more and more and more. And the more they say yes throughout your whole interview and your whole your whole conversation with the meeting, you'll have a way higher success chance of closing that deal. And what does that mean to you guys? Like, Tevin, how many clients have you closed? Well, I've closed enough. And before starting my own social media marketing agency, I held top sales at my last job for 9 months straight. And I was making a killing. I was actually laid off from there for various reasons. Our economy's crashing in Alberta right now, and so everyone's out of a job. But I was absolutely killing it in sales there. So I started my own business, and now I'm using all these sales strategies and tactics to land clients that are paying me upwards of $4,500 and minimum $2,000. So Tevin, you said earlier that you don't have a minimum price, or your minimum price is $2,500. Why is that, and how can you make that work? All right, well, there's a lot that goes into picking and choosing your pricing. What happens is I show up to a meeting and I know the price that I want to offer them. Like, I can just tell. one of the questions that I ask them as a qualifying question on the phone is, how many employees do you have? And one of my most recent businesses that I closed, the $4,500 one, she called me and she told me that she had 70 employees. And now if you break that down, that they're not paying their employees pretty cheap if they have that many, right? And it was a medical center, so they're making really good money and they have a lot of money to go into their marketing and to pay staff. So I knew right away. I was like, I need to get somewhere close to five. I want something around $5,000 a month. So I walked in there and I talked to her, went through everything, and I just straight up said it's going to be $4,500, and I was confident, and that's what we closed on. It was simple as that. But that's not necessarily what's going to happen to all your meetings. What's going to happen is this back and forth haggling thing. And you're going to walk in there and you're going to be like, after further analysis and talking to you and going over everything that we need to get done for you to be successful and for you to destroy your competition and to truly grow your brand and make your reach more viable for the community that we're in, I need to charge you $2,500, and that's before spending for advertisement. And now either two things are going to happen. That's too expensive, or let's get started. Now, considering most of you are probably starting your minimum package at $1,000, you can then say you have $1,500 in value, or RIP, if you will. That's one of the terms we'd use. Profit. You have $1,500 in profit if the minimum price that you wanted to charge was $1,000, right? So now you've got this bargaining tool where you can leave that business and still be happy at, say, $1,500 or $2,000. So when he says, sorry, $2,500, it's too expensive, you can come back with, all right, so what we're going to do for you, I don't generally do this for all my clients, but I really see some potential and I really want to help you out because that's everything to me. And like I told you earlier, my success is your success. So if I'm not putting all of my heart into your business and truly making it happen so you can see more clients, which is going to be tracked anyways, guys, so you can say those words like, there's no matter what, you have to do good work for them or they're going to fire you. So you just tell them straight up, I will do my absolute best. And I don't do this for all my clients, but I can truly see that you want to grow and you do want to reach your target market, but you don't have the capabilities right now. What I can offer you is we're going to reevaluate exactly what you need here. I'm going to have to take away a couple of these puzzle pieces and we can work with the price at around $2,000. How does that sound? We'll get rid of some of the things that aren't necessarily needed. Instead of posting every single day on Facebook, I'll post once every other day. And you just start taking away little things that that don't require too much time, so you're not losing the value that you've originally set out for service based on how much you're going to be charging him. Okay? So if there's a value at posting one time a day for Facebook, how much would that be? Probably, I'd say like $5 to $10. Takes you about 10 minutes to create a post. So now if you're just saying, I'm going to drop off making 15 posts a month instead of 30, you realistically don't lose that much money. And you can focus on dropping it by, $500. So the work that you're diminishing isn't that big, but you're still getting a lot of money. But it seems like it's a lot of work to him. So you tell him, all right, sir, this is what I can do for you. $2,000. If you can sign today, we can get started and I'll make sure everything happens for you and everything goes smooth. And I have a contract that you can sign right now. How does that sound to you? Again, you're either going to get one of two answers. Let's get started, or that's still too expensive. And again, you can walk out of there at $1,000 and you're still going to be happy. Why? You may not have a client yet, or because you know that there's not a lot of work that truly needs to be done. So then you renegotiate. You take away some more things. All right, $1,500. And if they don't see the value at $1,500, it's because they don't see the value in your services to begin with. That's when I would start tracking back and retelling them about the services that you're building for them and going over those like case studies of other businesses that are similar to his. That's very, very important. Well, I think I've talked a lot about my sales strategies and things that I would do. If you guys do have any questions or concerns, or you want me to make a video on, you name it, shoot me a message and I will get on get to making the video right away. If you do want a list of my services here, I can post it, or I can send you an email with the document. I can scroll through it slowly, so if you want to, pause the video and write it down, you can do that. I do want to give a shout out to Chris. His name is Christopher. I don't want to say that last name incorrectly. Lepertio, maybe? He was the creator of this document. I just made it slightly different, didn't add in the colors. I added a couple more bullet points here and then put it on my own document without pricing. So I want to thank him for creating that document and sharing it with everyone in the group. But again, guys, I want to thank you for checking out my video today, and I want to make sure you guys check out my future videos. So if you subscribe, comment, and rate, that would be awesome. Until next time, guys, thank you.